Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good day, wherever you are. This is Dr. Jacqueline King, and I am the CEO and founder of Black Women Empowered. And today, as I always say, we bring amazing people to you doing amazing things. A lot of you signed up because you wanted to hear this amazing woman. And so, Miss Carmen Hornbecker, how are you?
I am doing excellent, Dr. King. How you doing? I
I'm
can't see
doing
you, but I'm doing good.
Well, I can see you, and if you really want to, like, you can take it off, and
Yeah.
so you can see me. Just take it off, and then we'll put it back
Okay.
because I don't want you. I want you to be able to see me. So everyone, thank you so much for joining in tonight. I asked that, as I always ask you, let us know where you're tuning in from. Share the broadcast. And we have an amazing woman, Carmen Hornbecker. This speaker is intense. Her passion comes from knowing both sides of the fence, corporate and entrepreneurship. She was raised by two entrepreneurs, and she worked in corporate America for over 18 years. She has a 17-year-old son and has been a divorced mom since 2012. She has a passion for retirement and strives to educate women on indexing. And indexing is a leveraging tool practiced by the rich, which allows them to get the upside potential of risky product, but the downside protection of a safe product. Leveraging will create many millionaires in her lifetime. She has over 17 years experience in the financial services industry and tax-free planning, individual and group insurance sales, advanced needs and analyst, tax-free exit strategies for business owners, infinite banking deals, and structured settlements. Her work is influenced by fulfilling her purpose every day, exhibiting selfless leadership to her clients and agents she trains. She uses a three-step TFRA process to help her clients build their self confidence in order to better absorb the information so it can be applied and passed down to the next generation. Please help me welcome the owner and founder of Benefits to Go, Carmen Hornbecker, LLC, Carmen Hornbecker. Okay, there you are, and here we are. So,
Thank
Miss
you so
Carmen,
much, Dr. King.
it is definitely my pleasure. So, tell me, what is it that you're going to share with us tonight?
Well, what I'm going to share with us tonight is some secrets, right? That a lot of us as women, especially Black and Brown women, that we haven't necessarily been privy to, right? We get up, right? I mean, we get up and we go to work every day, and we save our money, but we're just not saving our money in the right plans, right? So let me ask you, because you're probably retired right now. I mean, I take it that like you do the network, but you may be retired from working, right?
Correct.
Okay. So when you were working, like where did you save your money? Because generally people have three places where they save their money, right? Before tax, after tax, and tax free. So what the phenomena is that a lot of women are just saving their money in the wrong product, right? So
Okay.
depending upon how you get paid, you need to save your money in the right places. So that's what we're going to talk about today is tax-free wealth and where the 1% actually save not only their before tax income, but their after tax income as well. Because not a lot of wealthy people, right? Let's just be, serious, right? A lot of wealthy people did not gain their wealth by, W-2 income, right? They're not traditionally employees.
Right.
Yep. So that's what we're going to get into.
Okay. So, are you ready to share
Yeah,
your screen and just like really
absolutely.
hit it
I'm
hard?
ready. Yeah, I'm ready to present right now.
All right. So if you know someone that needs this information, I ask please share it. Share the broadcast. Tell everyone that Ms. Hornbecker is bringing some valuable information that's going to help you financially and also generations to come. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the name of my firm, can you see my screen?
I'm getting ready to add it right now. There you go.
Okay, great. So you can see the Benefits to Go logo.
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. Okay, I started my firm in 2000, like pretty much like right before the pandemic. And so the reason why I did is because I knew when I left corporate America, I knew that there was a need for not only just just Americans as a whole, but most definitely Black and Brown women traditionally saving their money in the wrong place, right? So
Mhm.
in corporate America, the people that I pretty much helped were, people that, made over, let's say, $300,000 or $400,000 a year. And these people traditionally, right, they did not save their money in, traditional plans like people in mid-America when it comes to their retirement. And so when I took a look at that, I said, you know what? When I get out of corporate America, right, if something ever happens, which, we did get downsized, but, that happened to be, obviously a blessing in disguise. But I pretty much knew what I was going to do because qualified plans as a whole are financially destructing middle America. So my mission is to, since my business pretty much focuses on women, my main goal in my business is to improve the long-term financial security of women through the education of non-taxable assets, right? So how I'm going to do this, Dr. King, is that each and every year, if I hire 100, at least about 100 associates, right? And if I help them help 50 women, then that's how I'm going to be able to create or help women create 5,000 tax-free retirement accounts, right? Just for
Mhm.
women across the board, each and every year. Because as I said before at the beginning of the call, we save our money in three ways traditionally: before tax, after tax, and then tax-free. So my whole mission is to educate women on non-taxable assets. So
That's
here we
a,
go, right? So here we're about to get into it. So I want women to know that they have another option besides a 401k plan or a traditional IRA to put their money in.
okay.
Do you know the amount of just Americans, millions of Americans that are totally financially devastated by qualified plans as a whole, right? They are not only are they taxed on every withdrawal up to 30%, but they have penalties that scrutinize Americans as well. So here, what I have on my screen are the seven main problems that a lot of women face in retirement, right? So we pretty much, already know, right, that the women traditionally live a lot longer than men, but that causes a lot of duress, especially in retirement as we continue to live, because women earn less than men in their working years, which number three makes us more likely to be offered retirement benefits in the first place. And number four, we significantly receive lower retirement benefits than men. Number five, Dr. King, is that women have fewer years of earned income. And this is because we traditionally, when we do work or when we do go back to work, if we are married, a lot of us would just go back to work, right, and just work part-time jobs,
Mhm.
um, right? Or a lot of us will work jobs to where we don't have like full-time benefits, right? Because number six, we're more likely to work a part-time job versus a man, right? And
Mhm.
but number seven, though, and I think that we talked about this earlier. Number seven is the main reason that drives me each and every day. So let me tell you a little bit about my story. Not only was I raised by entrepreneurs, but they were very, very successful entrepreneurs. Both of my parents. So back in the 80s and the 90s, my parents with after tax income were making a little bit over $27,000 a month,
Mm. Okay. Wow.
right? So now I want for you to think about this and conceptualize this, because I graduated from grade school in 1986. So in the 80s and in the 90s, so that type of income, so there's no particular reason why both of my parents retired broke. And my mother, when my father died, was not only, dependent upon, just, her children just taking care of her, but she was also financially dependent upon Social Security. So this number 7, if I don't hurry up, right, and create a solution, which is what I'm doing, each and every day by hiring associates and trying to get out here and get the word out about non-taxable plans. This money is going to be dried up in the federal government system. You know that. Social Security, right? And it's a shame that this particular system uplifts women from out of poverty annually. As a matter of fact, it uplifts about 9 million of us up out of poverty each and every year. So I think that's absolutely ridiculous, especially when the average Black and brown woman in her lifetime has a bachelor's degree and her average income is $68,000 a year, right? So what are the 3 things that they don't want us to know about, right? The federal government does not want us to know about, right? The who, the what, and the why. So what is the who? The 401k, Dr. King, or the qualified plans, all of them were created in the 1980s so that rich CEOs could have some place to hide their income or their wealth, right? So after they got through trading in the stock market or doing whatever it is that they did, to build their wealth, they just figured, right, that they would make the wealthy, that they would make the middle class pay their taxes later. So that's what's fun. So that's what's predominantly going on today with qualified plans. Qualified plans are not designed for wealthy CEOs. I can tell you for a fact, wealthy CEOs from the financial services company that I came from, they did not put up $2,000 a month for 30 years only to retire at a certain magical age of 63 and be taxed at up to 36% on every single withdrawal. So what I learned in corporate America is that the wealthy do not invest in certain qualified plans, and I'm gonna get into what those plans are in a minute. So what is the third secret? The third secret is the what, which is the fees. So Dr. King, if a woman on average in corporate America or even outside of corporate America saves on average $400 to $500 a month in a standard IRA for 30 years, she has approximately contributed about $262,000 in her IRA for her retirement. If she retires at the age of 65, she still will owe the IRS over $100,000 in taxes. But what the other secret is that she's paid over $191,000 in just 401k fees.
Wow.
See, what the federal government doesn't want you to know, they don't want you to know that your 401k is not free. Right? The stamps, the publications, everything that Ed Jones and Merrill Lynch and Charles Schwab has by way of advertisement, those fees are passed down to the consumer. And those fees are not free, and the corporation takes them on by what's called third-party fees, and they just pass them down to the employee or to the consumer. As I let all my customers know, and I inform all my clients that if you continue to invest long-term in a qualified plan, you will send 2 children to college in just the fees alone inside of the plan. Pretty bad. Yep. So here's the taxation. So here's the taxation breakdown on all qualified plans. Standard up to 36%, just depends upon what your standard tax bracket is, whenever you start taking your withdrawals. Across the board in America, it's anywhere between 59 to 63, right? And it's all based upon your tax bracket. Right. So, for example, I had a woman. She had retired. When she retired from BJC, she was a nurse here in St. Louis. She made 246, I don't know, like almost $250,000 a year. Right. So she was in almost a little bit over a 36% tax bracket. However, Dr. King, when she retired, right, in the very next year, she liquidated about $310,000, a little bit over $300,000 from her Roth IRA, right? So that made her tax bracket jump up, right? So on her withdrawals, that just made her withdrawals, penalties a lot more. What a lot of my clients don't know and understand is this RMD penalty. Have you ever heard of this
No,
10?
I
Okay.
never. Mhm.
In the state of Missouri, if you have a qualified plan and by the age of 73 and a half, I do believe it is, if you haven't taken out 10% overall on all of your qualified plan balances, the IRS has the right to come in and penalize you an extra 10% on top of the 30 to 36% on all your withdrawals.
Wow.
Yeah. So look over your stuff, right? Because if you've invested in a qualified plan and by the time you're 73, if you haven't taken out, like so if you have 100,000 and you haven't taken out 10% for that calendar year, they're going to tax you that following year. So you're going to get a letter in the mail. All right. So this is what's going on each and every year, right? Since what, 1980 is when they started the incorporation of qualified plans. This is what's happening. So about 428 Americans, they pretty much look like this. It just depends, right? It just depends upon the year, whether they get in or get out on a good year. But the majority of them over the past 7 years have felt betrayed, and they've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in their retirement accounts. Do you know anybody like this, Dr.
Yeah,
King?
I do actually. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. I know clients when I left, I got divorced in 2012, left corporate America in 2019. Some of these clients, they still can't retire in the spring of 2025 because they've lost over 37% of their accounts. Very sad, right? So what if we go
Just
ahead,
so
Doctor?
you know, Sonia Jackson said she just learned that. Thank you, Sonia, for sharing that. Please share the broadcast. This is valuable information that everyone needs to know. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. So what if we really knew? Just like Miss Jackson was just saying, what if we really knew 20 years ago, right? Because I'm in my 50s. So 20 years ago, that if we started with $520,000 in our 401k and we grew it to $1 million, and by the time we were 62, Dr. King, we would still owe the federal government anywhere between $350,000 to $400,000 in taxes. Now we wouldn't pay that up front, right? We would only pay that up front if we took our entire, nest egg out up front, right? But what women don't understand is that over time, this is what they're paying, right? So what's happening is that the same $6,000 that they're used to living off of, in their 40s and 50s, by the time they're 63, and now it's time to pay that. Now it's time to pay not the penalty because they're 63. Now they're just paying taxes on everything that they've deferred. Follow me? So because they've been in a deferred account for 20 or 30 years, now it's time to pay the piper. And so what I'm saying is that it doesn't matter either way. You're still going to owe in taxes to the federal government. And so, what I'm trying to do is obviously avoid, some of this so we can have some money for ourselves and retirement for our children. So the profits is right. It's just a gift to the federal government. This $400,000 is just a gift. It's just paid back to the feds. Either they'll use it to, pay their rich CEOs another great salary, a bonus, or buy them another jet, right? Or they'll just pump the money back into the U.S. stock market. So what in the world are we talking about, Carmen? What accounts are affected? What accounts do I need to stay away from traditionally? Me, my daughter, my grandkids, everybody that I love, my son. What do I need to stay away from? These are the traditional 401k accounts, or I'm sorry, qualified accounts. 401k is the most popular, that was created back in the 80s. So the 401k. Dr. King, the only difference between the 401k and the standard IRA is just payroll deduction. They still, I can't go back in my slides, but the taxation still works the same. It's the right. So there's no difference. A 401k is just something that's offered by your employer, but the taxation and all of these plans work the same. They're all tax deferred, and the government wants all of their money immediately when you start your withdrawals. So 403Bs, these are traditionally for your non-for-profits or for your teachers and your people that, your loved ones that work at colleges and universities. Your 457s and your TSPs, Dr. King, I know you heard of these TSPs. These are for your federal government workers and your state governments workers. So your postal employees, you know, and whatnot. These people invest in TSPs. And then obviously your college savings plans. I know you have 2 children. Did you ever save in a college 529 plan?
No.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 11 million people do a year, right? So college savings plans. And then we've got pension plans. I know you heard of pension plans.
Not a
Year
pension.
service plans are almost obsolete, you know, these days, right? You can't walk into Amazon and say, okay, I'm gonna work here for 10 years and you're gonna give me a 10-year pension. Yeah, right. So these are also taxable plans, right? So how can this be, right? Why? What, just right. So give me a little background, Carmen, on what happened to to the US dollar, and why, and why do women need to get in shape right now financially? Well, listen, in 1971, a president by the name of Nixon, Dr. King, took us off the gold standard, right? I'm not going to get into all of this right now. That's why, people can book an appointment with me, but I go into a lot of things so that I can help my ladies understand money. And, basically, what, happened in 1971, which is why we're experiencing a lot of things in inflation right now. So this joker took us off the gold standard, which converted the US dollar to nothing more than just a currency, allowing the federal government to just print money like running water, at their leisure to solve all of our problems. We got a problem. We got a U.S. deficit. We just make some more goods and we just sell them to China. We just print some more money, right? But if the U.S. dollar continues to decline and U.S. purchasing power and inflation continues, then millions of people are going to lose the bulk of their retirements anyway. This is what I educate and teach on. So 34% of Americans have already admitted, Dr. King, that they have absolutely nothing saved for retirement. I talk to 13 women each and every single day. Women ages, these women are in worse financial shape. My average client is 46 years old. So women ages 41 to 55 are 8 to 12 years behind on their retirement goal projection. We're going to get into what a retirement goal projection is, because a lot of people have misconceptions about, what they actually need in their pocketbook in after-tax dollars to actually have a comfortable retirement. Right? So let's just kind of do the math, right? Because I want to keep up with time, and you got to keep me good with time, Dr. King. I'm kind of trying to talk fast. So let's work with this math. This is easy math. Even though I said my average client is 45 or 47, right? So that means they only have another 20 years to work. And if these women, Dr. King, make on average anywhere between $85,000 to $100,000 a year, I ask each of them, what is your retirement salary that you want to pay yourself in retirement? The problem is that we are not investing in enough passive income vehicles in order to generate us passive income in retirement. That's my job, right? So I ask women, what is your goal for generating $85,000 a year? Okay, so you say you want to have your same standard of living 25 years from now? Okay, so listen, okay, if you're making 100 grand now and you want to make that in retirement, then that's $3 million, Dr. King, of after-tax dollars just in retirement, because the average woman, not only have we, always outlived men, but we most definitely outliving them now because we've taken better care of ourselves, and the average American is living longer. Are they not?
That's correct.
That's right. So I ask women, okay, the fragmented question is, okay, so when are you going to die? Right? If your mother died, if your mother lived until 89 or 91, chances are, you pretty much going to be around here kicking around until 90. So the game has flipped, Dr. King, because we have more people living past retirement than they have in working years to try to save to get to their retirement goal. right? So we need to have at least 30 years of retirement income saved, right? And if we're looking at this $3 million, so we take $3 million and we take that and we divide that into 25 years of working years. So we've got $120,000 a year in this, according to this example, of extra income that a woman is going to have to come up with right now or over the next 25 working years. Now, how is a woman supposed to come up with that extra income?
Mm.
And she's right, and she's putting all of her money in a 401k, right? So listen, well, this is kind of blurred out up at the top, right? But this says, don't fear, the TFRA is here. So what this means, or what this acronym means, is the tax-free retirement account, right? So in most cases, I'm just going to kind of read this here. The tax-free retirement account would generate for women up to 40 to 60% more income than a traditional IRA, because this feature is with after-tax dollars, which allows for women to play catch up faster, Dr. King. So again, the tax-free retirement account does not take into consideration of any taxes, which means that the savings add up quicker and you're not paying any taxes on your growth or on your earnings. Also, in most cases, these accounts bypass lawsuits, liens, and are typically, in some cases, now you need to check with your attorney, are in some cases divorce proof if you've owned these particular accounts before marriage, right? So the TFRA is a true wealth building strategy, right, that shelters my women from tax liability and shields the policy owner from financial adversities, especially if it's or can protect you from adversities. I'm sorry, especially if it's accompanied by a trust. And my company, Benefits to Go, works with a third-party provider that sets up trust for all of my women, all of my clients. So in a nutshell, okay, what is kind of like the side-by-side difference between a TFRA and an IRA? I'm not going to go through, all of these, and I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time on them because I got about 6 more slides to show you, and we want to open it up. You told me we want to kind of open it up for some questions. So what is the main difference? So this tax-free retirement account obviously is going to protect you from taxation on your growth and on your earnings, all of your withdrawals. It doesn't matter. There's no such thing as an early withdrawal in a tax-free retirement account, right? So all of your money is liquid and all of your withdrawals are tax-free. So your retirement income is all protected. It's a very, very unique, account, which, it maximizes leverage, right? It allows for you to leverage the money from the insurance company with your money that allows for you to, take this income out, tax-free. Again, it removes market risk and tax risk, and it allows for you to have protection, Dr. King, outside of the stock market that you can be guaranteed to never outlive. This is a huge, huge, huge guarantee, for women, especially women that have businesses and children that want to pass down, transferable wealth in a trust. An IRA, okay, this joker over here to the far left. This is what this one will give you. It'll give you, right? It'll give you a heart attack and market volatility. That's what it'll give you, because it has no 0% floor and no protection. It also gives you limited contributions, right? I mean, thank God they won't allow for you to put, your whole, nest egg in there, but it is limited annually as to how much you can put in there. In the tax-free retirement account, it is not limited at all. In the early withdrawal, for the IRA, you do have early withdrawals penalties. Obviously, that's what we were talking about. So there's not only the 10% penalty. Everybody knows about that if you take your own money before you're 50 and a half, right? But got the penalty on the withdrawals, and your money is not 100% liquid, and you don't own all of your money in your IRA anyway. The federal government owns up to 40% of it. And traditionally IRAs, are taxed, right? We got simple IRAs, SEP IRAs, SARS IRAs. It doesn't matter. IRA, it's still taxed. It's taxable on every withdrawal. And then it has the pre-tax penalty for the age. And then don't forget about the required minimum distribution. Okay, this right here I could kind of blow this up, but I'm not going to, because this is, I mean, if I could, if on the iPad, but if this is hard to see, what this is this is a side-by-side money comparison of a 401k qualified plan to the tax-free retirement plan to the right. So if you can look a little bit, stare a little bit harder at this plan on the left-hand side, it says that the starting account balance is about, for sake of rounding up, a little bit over 580,000, right? However, the beginning, let me see. What does this have here? Okay, so the starting balance, what this woman started with was 580,000. What the account grew to, Dr. King, was a little bit more than $1,500,000, $1,052,000 in the middle. Okay, so what the number in the circle represents on the far right hand side is the amount of money that she was able to pay herself annually from out of the 1,052,000, from all of the money that she had grew in her 401k. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So the number in the rectangle just represents 41,118,000, $13,000 worth of payments for 30 years. So from age 66 to 95, that equated to about a little bit over 1.1 million. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now on the right hand side is her sister Betty. Now her sister Betty is my client. So she had my tax-free retirement account, right? So her total premium that she invested was only $394,000, a little bit more. So we're looking at a starting balance on the 401k of 580,000, and then the woman that had the tax-free retirement account, she only started with 394,000, right? So the woman on the right, she grew her tax-free retirement account to 971,000. Her sister grew her grew her 401k to $1,052,000. So how in the world did the woman on the right-hand side, how in the world was she able to pay herself over $96,000 a year for the same amount of years, right? From age 66 to 95, she was able to pay herself over $54,000 a year more than her sister for 30 years. Given herself, her amount in the rectangle was a little bit over 3.2 million, almost 3.3 million. So when I sit with my clients, I ask them, how in the world do you think this was possible? First of all, the woman on the right started with what? $180,000 less in her retirement, and it's all with after-tax dollars. So how was she able to pay herself $54,000 more than her sister on the right-hand side? What do you think, Mrs. King, Dr. King?
I guess she was investing in what you have up there, right? The insurance.
Huh? Pretty close. But the main thing is that the woman on the right, she didn't pay any taxes, right? So the woman on the left, she paid taxes on every single withdrawal. The woman on the right, even though she started with $180,000 less, and right, and she didn't, her ending point in her retirement balance in her tax-free retirement account was $180,000 less than her sister, but she still had more income because the money that she had, it just grew for her and it compounded. And when she pulled out this $96,000, she didn't have to pay taxes on it. So that's why I say a woman that invests in a retirement account, in a qualified account for more than 30 years is going to give up at least $2 million in income. Wow. At least $2 million. Right? So how is all of this legal? How can you take after-tax dollars and invest a portion of this with life insurance companies in leveraged assets? They turn around and give you back 3 to 4 times as much as you put in, right? And not only is this money non-taxable, but it's growing at a compounded interest rate, and it has a 0% floor that you can never lose. So how is all this legal? This is legal because it's right there in the IRS code in section 72, in section 72 and 7702, right? So these are both sections that are side by side each other in the IRS tax code, which gives the compliance on the legitimacy of how permanent life insurance works and how it's taxed. See, Dr. King, there's a reason why insurance companies tell you how much you can put inside of a term product, inside of life insurance, right? Insurance companies regulate how much you can put. Can you still see me, or you can only see my screen?
No, I can see you.
Really? Okay, God. Okay. So insurance companies actually tell you, they regulate how much a policy owner can put inside their life insurance contract. However, the federal government tells you how much you can put inside of a whole life insurance contract. Now, why do you think that is? That's because of taxes. If everybody in the US got hip and got smart to hiding their wealth, a portion of their wealth, and leverage assets with insurance companies, how do you think the federal government would feel about that? They would have I tell you one thing, they wouldn't have nobody else to tax, would they? And that's the game. Before tax, after tax, or tax-free. The products that I offer allow for a Black, a brown woman, any person in business, right? This isn't a color thing, right? I'm just on the Black Women's Empowerment Network Incorporated, right? But anyone can get this knowledge, and anyone can put their can put their after-tax dollars in the right account, because this is what all this is about. How and where are you saving your money? Tax-free, after tax, or before tax, right? So I just help women migrate and index their money and put their money in tax-free accounts. Here's my information. Again, my name is Carmen Hornberger. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I am licensed in 13 different states. I also am hiring 4 agents. The only way that I'm going to get this knowledge to the masses, and right, because I'm not going to live forever in a timely fashion, right, is for me to be able to duplicate my efforts. And the only way that I can duplicate my efforts is getting the knowledge out here by hiring more agents to not only make a great living, because this is a great living and a great and just a great business, right? But I need to, in order for me to hit my goal, I need to be able to hire more, agents, so I can be able to leverage this thing, right? And so here's my information. Again, my name's Carmen Hornberger. Here's my email address, my website, and my phone number. Should I give out, Dr. King, how many people are on? I'm gonna stop sharing my screen in a minute.
They're on different platforms, so I can't really tell you right now. The last I looked, over 1,000 people had seen it. But here's what
do you think I should leave my cell? Do you think I should? My cell isn't on here.
Do you think I should? What number is that you're giving out on there?
That's my office number.
Well, I mean, if they can leave a message, the people want to know what I want to know too.
Yes.
So they can get you to the office, right? They can get you through your office. Okay, so let's go with that for now. So with everything changing, as we all know, and I won't get into it because I don't want to get into the whole political thing. There's people that want to know, how does this work? Will you train them? How does that work? What do they need if they want to join your organization or become an agent?
Well, first of all, I am looking for a certain type of individual, but as far as the criteria is concerned, the licensing that's required is just a life insurance certificate, right? And so I provide a discount not only for the licensing, but I also provide the training as well after the person gets their license, obviously. So I've got people that are passing their test in 3 weeks or 3 months. It just depends upon how, how eager they are and how, how fast they want to get started. But that's pretty much the only requirement, is getting a life insurance license. You have to be compliant with the state, with your residential state.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of sort of started doing that. I never finished it, and I just found that it really wasn't for me. But I'm sure there are people out here that would love to do that. So how do they first get their license? What do they need to do? And first of all, before I do that, what type of person is it that you are looking for?
Well, the type of person that I'm looking for is a person that has a strong work ethic, a person that has time in their schedule, right? Because if they're part-time or they're full-time, you are welcome so much, Tamisha. So a person, right? I need to kind of know, like, right, if they want to be part-time or full-time, but a person that basically is a how can I say, a person that will do the right thing when nobody is watching them. In this business, you have to have a tremendous amount of integrity, because clients give you the routing number, the account number, right? They're really, really trusting you, right? I mean, when I worked in corporate America indexing, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, in most cases, millions of dollars. So a person has to have ethics and, integrity, a strong work ethic, and, they've got to be able to sacrifice, the time in order to get, to where they need to be in the business. So flexibility and, accountability is important as well.
Do you do background checks?
Yes. Yeah. My firm most definitely does background checks, and people with criminal records can get a insurance license, right? It just depends upon what you went to jail for. Let me
If you
just
went
say
to
that.
jail, and let me tell you right now, if you went to jail for money laundering, this is not going to be the job for you. No, I'm just,
No.
I'm just look, little bit of humor there.
Right, exactly. You're
But
hilarious.
this is a good opportunity for many reasons. Really, I I think more people are, since the pandemic, people are really more looking to have their own businesses where they can work at
Mhm,
their own pace. And you know that to be a fact, because what happened was
mhm.
the companies are now starting to make people go back in the office. And they had
Oh,
gotten
good.
very comfortable with,
Being at home.
working at home. So
Mhm,
this
mhm,
may very well be an opportunity for you if that's something that you want to do. You want to work at your own pace at home. What
mhm.
type of income? I know we're going to talk about the insurance, but what type of income? I mean, look, I know
Yes.
I know my audience, okay?
Mhm. Yep.
What type of income can you generate through this?
Well, if anybody goes to my YouTube channel, I have created, right, a successful six-figure 6-month program for any, for any experienced agent, a person with no experience, right? I've developed it. So I've right, if I made over $134,000 in 5 months, I think I can show another woman how to do that. If she wants to, if she's looking for another career, if she wants to help women, right? Because that's pretty
Do
much all.
y'all hear that? Do y'all hear that? She said 135,000 in 5 months is what she said. Is that what you said?
That's what I said. It's all documented.
Okay. So that's what if you're looking to do something like that,
Mhm. Yeah,
um,
see,
this is,
Dr. King, a lot of people think that the money that insurance is just term and final expense and Medicare. That's the
oh,
old way of insurance. No, no,
I know.
this is advanced. Yeah, this is advanced sales. This is advanced sales product. So anybody that comes into my agency, that's the training that they're going to get. Right. So four policies a week. That's a $8,000 to $10,000 a week income. Easy.
Jamisha says I'm here for it. Jamisha, did you get her information? If you want to go ahead and give yourself, go ahead and give it out. if that's up to you, if you want to go ahead and give that out.
Yeah. I mean,
Carmen.
I got a business cell. It's 314-393-4037. But I've got my office number up there as well. My office number, because I've got I'm another thing about my agency is that anybody that partners with me will be able to override an international business. So I'm going to be in I'm already in Puerto Rico, and I'm in Mexico, and I'm soon to do business in the Philippines as well.
And can I say that um, Carmen is in our directory who hasn't set up a directory yet. I'm gonna put you right
No,
on blast.
I know.
So
Good.
once she does everything, her YouTube channel, all that'll be there where you can just go, which is going across the bottom of the screen. You can go right to the directory and get all of her information, and you can actually contact her from there. When she sets it up, which is going to be soon. Tonight.
It's
I'm gonna
tonight.
hold you. You know I'm gonna hold you to it, right?
I'm just gonna sit here. I gotta just sit here and do it after I get off the call. I got a 7 o'clock and a 7:30. You know, I'm on Central Time.
Okay, all right. But this is good. So just give me, and I do have a couple questions. If you know, someone that's already retired and they want to look into, you know, some extra income, how would someone like myself go about doing it?
Okay. Well, that's a great question, right? Because I've got aunts, I got aunts and and uncles that are that are mature, right? And that have already worked somewhere for 30 years and they're in their 60s. And so what I help them do.
Carissa said she's interested. Make sure you let me put the number in the chat. What is your cell?
314-393-4037. And you can, is there any way you can put my calendar link in the chat too, Dr. King?
I can't. I can't do that. But what I can do is I can put it there after the fact when the broadcast goes out. And so right now we're actually on LinkedIn. We're on 2 Facebook channels because StreamYard changed their whole setup. But what I can do, good thing, I actually just joined Restream. I can actually restream it on Restream on all of our other channels. I don't even want to get into that. But let's so you were saying, now what were you saying about me?
Okay, so for a person that already has worked someplace, right? And so now in your case, people generally have a large sum of money. So what I do with them, I have a retirement division or a post retirement division, right, for people that have already retired, and I just help you continue to grow your assets. Some women continue to contribute to their post-retirement plan because it's indexed. It has the same features as a tax-free retirement product, right? But you're just not contributing to it. It's still growing in the index, so you're still getting the benefit of market returns with the safety net of a safe product, but you're getting living benefits. So what I mean by living benefits, which are beneficial for you, Dr. King, as a woman continues to age and she enters into retirement, the average woman is not covered with nursing home or critical care benefits, right? Living benefits, right? So this is another thing as well, which financially, which destructs a lot of women in retirement, and which makes them have to go back to work again, is because they got sick, they had a stroke, or they had a heart attack. That income, right? Medicare Part A, Part B didn't fulfill all of that. So now they had to probably liquidate a lot of their income, and now they had to go back to Sam's or go back to Walmart and go back to work. So what my program does for the post-retirement person, it'll give you living benefits. So you won't have to worry about that, right? So if you were to have a heart attack or stroke in your 70s, your children, if you were incapacitated, so to speak, would be able to have this account that they just have to just call the insurance company, and you'd be able to get twice the benefit on all of your assets. They just need to process the claim.
So you're talking about long-term care.
That's it.
And you
And
know how I know? I used to work in assisted living.
that's it.
So I understand that. And I understand what the cost is to live in a good assisted living is astronomical.
Ooh, yes,
I
it
know.
is.
I worked at very high scale.
Mm-hmm.
There's a user who doesn't have a name that says they're interested. They're in Florida. I don't know who you are because it just says LinkedIn user. So the number is on there. Get in contact with Carmen and she'll help you. So suppose you don't have any income, but you want to get some insurance. How does that work? If you don't have a bunch of income saved up or anything like that, what happens? What do you do?
Well, I got a man covered that's 47 years old with full-blown HIV. I got him covered for $30,000 worth of insurance for $55 a month.
Oh, so yeah, but what I'm trying to say is
So it just depends upon what you go ahead.
if you didn't have I mean you worked but you didn't put anything into a 401k and you didn't get a pension or whatever, how can you help that person?
Oh, okay. So as long as that person has cash flow, they can invest in my tax-free retirement plan, right? Because the whole benefit of the tax-free retirement plan is that it replaces, depending upon the person's age, it replaces anywhere between 40 to 60% of their income.
And how much do you need to invest?
That just depends upon the person's age. I mean, yeah, right. I mean, Dr. King, I got clients across the board, right?
Okay.
From 38 to 58, they're putting in anywhere between $270 a month all the way up to $2,200 a month.
The
The good,
minimum is $200 a month. Is that the
no,
minimum?
I mean,
Is there a minimum?
no, because I'm making children wealthy in the account with just $980 a year.
This is really
Right?
good.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I mean, I really think that our viewers are going to really appreciate you for doing this. And we will be re-airing this several times. It's not like a one
I
shot
mean,
deal.
listen, I can just come back for it
I can
in
re-air it too. And we can come back. But the thing is, for the people who didn't get it this time,
yeah,
we can replay it and replay it and replay it.
yes, absolutely.
That's a good thing. But I know it's getting close to that
Mhm.
hour,
Yeah, we
which
still got a few minutes. Does
yeah,
anybody
we
have
do.
any
And
questions?
so we don't have any questions, but
Okay.
why do you think indexing has not been talked about in the Black and Brown community?
Because that's a very good question, Dr. King, because when we typically get insurance license, right? When Black people generally go out and get a insurance license, we do it because we're broke.
Give me up before you go ahead. Let me get someone said they didn't see the number, but I typed it. What is it again? 314.
393
Please write this down if you don't see it. 314 393. What is it?
4037.
And I did type it in there and it should have come up on the screen. 314 393 4037. If it doesn't come up, write
That's
it
it.
down, please. Now, what were you saying about us?
That typically when typically and I'm just being straight up, okay? Because I'm a Black and a brown person.
That you
Typically,
are.
yes, I am. Okay. So I can speak for me. So typically the statistics are for us. When we generally go out and get a life insurance license, we typically do it because we're broke.
Oh.
We're not doing it because we've got money and this is a great business idea and we're going to like save the world. No, we do it because we need to make some money and somebody told us that getting the insurance license, we can make a good living with it. The problem with that is that we go and get that license and we go park it with the wrong insurance company. I'm not going to say no names because I don't badmouth people and I don't badmouth companies because no insurance company is bad as long as that insurance pays. Now that insurance don't pay you out, then you come see me, and then we'll get on, we'll get back on the Black Empowerment Network and we'll blast them. But I don't badmouth any insurance companies. However, you can invest your money with the wrong insurance product, with the wrong insurance company that just happens to sell that product. Okay. So when we generally go out and get a life insurance license, we go work for the wrong insurance company, which generally only tells us to buy term and invest the difference.
Okay. All right. And going forward, what financial impact do you want to have on Black women? Black and brown women.
You have no idea, when I talk to women, you have no idea how I just want to just shake them. But I don't want to shake them. I don't want to shake them, how we wanted to shake our children. I don't want to shake them like that. I want to shake them because I want to get them woke to the possibility of their future, because I was financially asleep for so long, right? For so long, while working right inside of the financial institution that was there to give me all the answers in the first place, but wasn't nobody saying nothing. So the impact that I want for the Black and brown woman, and just for the Black community as a whole, is for us to finally is for us to understand indexing, and for us to financially start saving our money in the right insurance products, because it will. I'm a true testament and believer of it. It will change your financial future. It will change your whole financial projection long term. This is not a get rich. Indexing is not a get rich quick scheme. If you're trying to put 50,000 or 10,000 into the index and you're trying to get rich within 3 years, you come talk to me about something else. But this is not the strategy to do this in. Wealthy people index, the 1% index a third of their wealth for a reason. That's to keep it liquid, right? That's to keep it safe, and that's to keep it transferable from taxation.
So do you recommend, like, I can only speak for the people that I know. All my friends are in their 60s. Mm-hmm. And so is it too late?
Well, let me tell you this. In your 60s, if you don't have appropriate cash flow, because I do have a 5-year retirement program with bank financing, but you have to have appropriate cash flow for that. So
and what is that?
$45,000 a year if you're already 60. So that would allow for you, right? So that $45,000 or that $50,000 a year for 5 years would allow for you to leverage, probably, if you're in good health, I can probably get a bank to leverage your assets 3-to-1 on that 200,000, right? But just a typical 6-figure, principal, or just worker, she's in her 60s now, I don't think I'm going to meet my retirement goal. What do I do? Unfortunately, at that age, that woman has surpassed saving for her retirement. Now, like, again, what I can do is I can help her with the large sum of money maybe that she already has saved. Typically people in that age group, they have their money, they got $300,000 sitting in the bank. I know it's crazy, but it's just in the bank, right? So generally I can help them not only get living benefits, right, that we talk about. I can take that 300,000, give it to the insurance company, and get them to index it every year and give you back a guaranteed 6 to 10%, depending upon what the index does each and every year. And then you got your compound interest. You got your money being liquid. You got 10%. You got access to 10% of your money every year, right? So you roll over 300,000. You got access to 30 every single year. You got your living benefits. So if anything were to happen to you, you got your in-home nursing care. You got everything bundled into this one tax-free retirement plan. And that could be, Dr. King, it doesn't matter if it's 30,000, 50,000. I helped a lady that only had six, she just retired school teacher. She only had 63,000 in her 403B. But you know what though? That 63,000, right, compounded and saved in the right account for her. By the time she's ready to receive her requirement minimum distribution, remember the 10%. So by the time she's age 73 and it's time for her to withdraw, in my account, she at least made an extra $60,000 in income, right? Over that, over that 9-year period. So she's made more money. I've kept her out of the market, so she didn't have any market losses. And then now, now our family has got living benefits, Lord forbid, if her cancer ever comes back. And it doesn't, these accounts don't take into account of any pre-existing conditions. They don't even care about your doctor. They don't care how many times you've gone to the doctor. And these post-retirement accounts, we don't look at medical records. So this is the reason why a lot of people in their 60s, they get these accounts because they've already suffered pre-existing conditions. So the fear and the worry is, being a burden to their family if their breast cancer ever comes back, because they know Medicare part A and part B is not going to help them pay for all these MRIs and everything that they had to go through before. Mm-hmm.
Well, this has been great. Everyone, the number is on the screen, and Pamela Pendleton says thank you. It's great. It really is great information. You know how to reach her, and I'm gonna hold her to it. Hopefully tomorrow her directory is gonna be up, because I'll be sharing that.
It has to be up now.
That's right. You done said it in front of all these people. And I'll be sharing that on all of our pages. So that'll be another plug and a way for them to reach you. Carmen, thank you so much for doing that.
I'm gonna tell you a secret too. I've always wanted to be on the show. I've always wanted to be a host on the show, just because obviously the name, I'm like, oh my God, this is the
girl, how long? I don't even know how long you've been watching me. You folks so funny.
I've been watching you at least since 2021.
Wow. Well, we're in our 14th year anniversary. This is this month, 14 years.
Congrats to you. You keep doing it.
Oh, well, look, as long as God says so, I'll be doing it.
Absolutely. Right. I can't wait to get the recording from this. Such a pleasure.
And we're going to actually, I'm going to rerun it again tonight on our YouTube channel, because like I said, I don't even want to go through it, but I can restream it immediately on the YouTube, which I can send you the link. So,
okay. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Queen.
Thank you.
And we're queens, so I tell everybody, Queen, thank you so much. Keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on empowering. Keep educating. And
I love that. Can't you tell?
Yes, and you do it very well. We need you. God bless you. Thank everyone for tuning in, and share the broadcast for us. Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.